Hi guys, this is a redirect to my reaction to One Piece episode 657, 658 and 659. Some great episodes again. I was absolutely horrified and very heartbroken after that third episode. Oh my days, just how evil can you possibly be to completely frame this poor former king, King Riku, who was doing so many peaceful things, so many noble things for his citizens in Dressrosa, only to frame him and actually make him kill his own people. Oh my days, like Doflamingo, absolutely psycho to the core, um, savage as fuck, and completely conniving. Like he gave him a deal, um, which made Riku choose the lesser of two evils. So basically the deal was that King Riku needed to collect 10 billion from his citizens. So he needed to collect money from his citizens, otherwise Doflamingo will kill his people and it'll be a whole bloodbath in Dressrosa because Doflamingo wants to replace him as king. He really wants to be king of Dressrosa, and if he denied that, then it's going to cause a huge war, a bloody war as well. So King Riku had no choice but to collect money. And even when he actually obliged to that, it turns out that Doflamingo would have caused absolute havoc anyway. Like he framed this poor guy to death, which is why so many people now in the present hate Riku so damn much. They hate the King Riku family so damn much. Because they think that he did that on purpose. He killed all those people on purpose when his whole entire body was controlled by Doflamingo. So King Riku had no control over his own body. He was being controlled like a puppet. It was like a puppet when he was like slashing all those people, and I felt so bad. I was so heartbroken. I was just like, I was so disturbed that Duffy would do anything just to like become king. Jeez, man. F's. Like the whole history was just like so disturbing to hear about. So basically the Tontata kingdom, the Tontata tribe, told Usopp and Robin about Usopp, Robin and Frankie about the whole history. So the King Riku family basically helped the Tontata tribe heal from their really, really tragic past, because the Don Quixote family treated them like scum. They treated them like they were just objects, that they were just slaves, and they abused them as slaves a lot. The Don Quixote family, because Don Quixote family were like the original kings, the original royal family for the Dressrosa kingdom, and but then they got replaced by the Riku family, and that made things a lot better for the Tontata tribe. So they were no longer slaves, they were no longer workers working for the royal family, they were no longer being abused of their right. They were now equal rights with the Riku family, which I highly respect the Riku family for, and I always thought that they were framed so badly, and it sucks to be right on that, but damn, to be hated so much for something that you didn't even do, oh man, that's just cruel. That's just evil. That's beyond evil. um Anyway, so yeah, the king, obviously the King Riku family got replaced by Don Quixote, Doflamingo, the absolute evil scumbag who made King Riku. I don't know if he actually killed them, but I mean, they hate them so much, so I guess he unfortunately killed a lot of his own citizens against his own control, against his own will, and that was the really fucked up part. Like he did anything he could to bring peace to his country, and then to have it all broken down. Jeez, man. Anything to get power for these evil villains, man. They would do anything. God, man, that was so like Duffy must have been so damn desperate. Jeez, man. Um. Anyway, before I get into more about that, let's talk about the first episode. So Rebecca was up against that big guy, and damn, it was she struggled at first. Of course, she's gonna struggle because he's like 3 or 4 times bigger than her. He's got a lot of brute strength, and it was like he was crushing this gladiator so much, like a different gladiator, and I was just like, oh man, this guy is brutal, and he wanted to crush Rebecca's body, and the whole entire crowd wanted to crush everyone, wanted to crush Rebecca, wanted him to crush Rebecca, because they obviously hate Rebecca so damn much. So Rebecca was just like running away from him, and then she lost a sword, and then Rebecca got caught by Logan. That was his name, Rolling Logan. So it was Logan who is the big guy that was up against Rebecca, and before Rebecca could get crushed, another gladiator, the other female gladiator who is an absolute badass, another badass. Her name is Agilia, and she actually saved Rebecca from getting crushed. So it's really nice that these girls, the girls, are just like looking out for each other. I was quite surprised because I thought just everyone was hating on Rebecca, but it turns out that Agilia was actually rooting for Rebecca. So that's really nice of Agilia to do. This smiling woman, it's funny. Anyway, so yeah, she helped her out, and then was giving her advice that you can't just run away from your enemies. You have to fight with all you got. Agilia was trying to hold her own, but like Logan did overpower her, so Rebecca jumped on Agilia to then she did this sick move against Logan. Like, this was such a cool technique that she did. It just blew my mind, like some of the sword techniques that you see in One Piece, especially with Rebecca. I really like her fighting style. So she basically jumped on Agilia, and then her sword bounced on Logan's wrist, and then she was able to go over Logan and then behind Logan, and then she tripped Logan to go and to fall into the sea. So that was a really, really cool technique. Like, even though he had so much brute strength, like he was able to overpower her so easily, but she used that against him. She just came up with this whole tactic to overcome that, by jumping over him and then making him trip over with a sword. So it's really nice that her own father, the toy soldier, so this is what we found out. It's confirmed that the toy soldier is in fact her real father, but she doesn't remember her own father, so I'm guessing he got turned into a toy soldier when she was just a baby. So that's quite sad. Yeah, and yeah. So also, so yeah, Rebecca basically defeated him. Meanwhile, oh my days, Bartolomeo. This guy is just absolutely jokes. When Hancock was like getting all lovey-dovey around Luffy, it was cringy, but with Bartolomeo it's just absolutely hilarious because he's more like an actual fan rather than thinking romantically, so it's not cringy to me. So this guy was just like, he was so tongue-tied when he met Luffy, and as a true fan, he wasn't fooled by the disguises that the Straw Hats wore. Like, he instantly recognized Luffy, even though he had this mustache and he had the helmet on. He still recognized Luffy, and then he finally told him that Zoro's looking for him. So that's that. So funny. Yeah, great episodes. I was really disturbed by the whole history regarding the Tonto tribe and what happened to King Riku. King Riku is dumped in the trash with all the other losers, the gladiator losers, so they all actually dumped in this whole trash area, and I was really disgusted about how Doflamingo was treating all these losers so that they can get turned into these soldiers. Like, absolutely disgusting, honestly. I'm so appalled by that. It's just absolutely disgusting how they treat them that. And then we saw one of Chinjao's grandkids get turned into a toy soldier. So we actually have seen the face of the person who is turning all these losers, all these gladiators, into soldiers. So one by one, they're all gonna get turned soldiers, unless they get saved. So, man, that's just fucked. What that last episode was just so dark. Just, man, One Piece hits me with these backstories. That was just horrible to see. Like, this king really wanted to save his people. He wanted to be so noble and peaceful. He wanted to maintain the peace in his country, and he couldn't do that because of Duffy. Anyway, it does make things a lot more interesting. What you think of these episodes, let me know, and stay tuned for more.